Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be reviewing my Ascend Blue Ridge trekking poles.
Please click like and subscribe to join my hiking family.
I saw these trekking poles while I was out shopping for supplies for an upcoming section hike. They were right about the same price as my Outzie trekking poles. They don't have the shock absorption, so I figured I'd give them a shot and see how they compare. Shock absorption versus non. I've used these poles on many hikes now. They're very similar to other trekking poles. With one feature I really like is the quick release mechanism to allow you to set up very quickly without having to do the twist and lock. One drawback I found to them was that these little thumb screws here often come loose during a hike. So I'd be hiking along and it would just drop on me and I'd have to stop and tighten it again. I wound up having to break out the Leatherman to tighten them down with that, and that seems to have solved the problem, but there's only so tight you can make it. It's a piece of plastic covering a nut in there. So you probably could really tighten these things down, but I haven't needed to since I used the Leatherman on the plastic nut. So there's just something to be aware of there, that you may have some issues with them, so you'll want to use them before you need to use them to make sure that they're tight and they're not going to come loose during your hike. Like other trekking poles, they come with a soft rubber tip for hard surfaces. I've found these to be able to get good purchase on most surfaces. I use them in sand as well. Also, like other poles, they come with the metal tip. Some hikers prefer to use these all the time because they do grab onto rock well. I've only used them to gain purchase on ice. I always use my soft rubber tips as a general rule. The tip also has on it a threaded adapter, so you can put on an accessory like a mud basket or a snow basket. On the handle of these poles is a synthetic cushion grip. They're pretty comfortable, but I've found that I prefer cork over the synthetic because this tends to make my hands sweat a little bit. But there is still a good grip to this, and it is quite comfortable. The strap is adjustable simply by pulling on this tab on the bottom, so you can cinch it up to your wrist or make it as loose as you want it to be. After putting in many miles with these trekking poles, I can honestly say that they'll do the job. They're pretty comfortable. Once I worked out the kinks with the quick release system, I haven't had a blowout since. You may want to carry a Leatherman with you though, just to make sure. But they do the job. The grips are comfortable, if a little sweaty, but I did miss the shock absorption. In my testing of these poles, I was walking on rougher terrain than I normally choose on a trail to try to make myself need the poles. And when I did need them, I found that the plant made it a more of a jarring experience than with just that little bit of shock absorption that's available in my Outzie trekking poles. So while I can't say that these will be my go-to poles, I can say that I would use them again. Around in Florida, absolutely a good option. So it's a personal choice whether you want to go with shock absorption or not. These will do the job. So there you have it, the Ascend Blue Ridge trekking poles. If you have any questions or comments about these poles or any other questions, please leave a comment below or send an email to trailnamemace@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Be sure to visit trailnamemace.com to find links to products I've reviewed. Thanks for watching, and keep hiking!